And so you're misunderstood. Don't let them tell you you're crazy just because they can't understand you. You're not crazy. You're not crazy at all. There's nothing about you that's showing up as crazy. Just because they don't understand who you are, they don't understand, even as I stumble on my words, they don't understand how you show up. They don't understand your behaviors, how you feel. It's because they haven't even taken the time out to actually know you, to ask you questions free of judgment. They've never asked you a question yet free of judgment. They're just trying to prove themselves to be right. They're wrong. Don't feel bad just because nobody around you does not understand you. It means you're special, you're gifted, you're different. And I'm sitting here at my desk after church, and I have no idea why I'm speaking on this, but I just wanted to. I just felt compelled to say they don't understand you, and good. You are the one that's supposed to change everything, that will change everything for those people around you. So don't be tempted to fold into the mold that they want you to be in. Little do they know their prayers that they've been praying to God, you are their answered prayer. But they want to go against their answered prayer. You don't have to be like them. It's to stand in who you are. You are a light to this world. And again, part of this is the reason why I'm doing these videos is to not do this, to not talk at you, to show and to share my life and to challenge myself. Because on social media, on short form, King No, at King No _ at My Emily Podcast, I already do kind of the motivational, but this is an invitation to my life. But that's the thing. My gift, I believe God gives us each gift. My gift is to speak, is to encourage, is to implore you to be you, to hold up a mirror for you, to be you, to see you, to think clearly about you and your capabilities in life. And so I'm learning to never shy away from that. And it's not just either or. You don't have to be so rigid, Lawrence. I'm speaking to myself now. You too. You don't have to be so rigid in what people see you as. You can explore. And as you explore, you learn more about you. You're misunderstood. I've been misunderstood my whole life as a kid growing up. My siblings would attest to this. My mom would attest to this. I was the bad kid. I was the defiant kid. I was the kid that is getting in trouble in school, in the gangs, doing the different things. And I never got a chance to have a say in what people thought about me. I remember vividly, I was in second grade, and I'm a twin, and I'm two sets of twins in my family. I'm the youngest by 4 minutes, and my brother and I just left private school and went to public school. It's the second grade, and it was a big switch for us from going to Temple Christian School to Jackie Carden Elementary. And I remember within the first few months, and this, by the way, was at a time where my dad was in Nigeria for 10 years. He got his visa denied when he tried to come over. He went over there to put on for his family. He's a pharmacist, and he was going to be the chairman of the board because at the time, my uncle was a governor of a state in Nigeria. And he was going to be the chairman of the board for basically all the hospitals in the area. And so it was a promotion. And in the eyes of my dad, okay, let me go over there, come back, go over there, come back, and take care of life because you got 4 kids that will grow up and go to college someday. And so he tried to come back, and his visa was denied. And that's a story for a different day, but I'm saying that because of this. In that second grade, in that time, public school happened upon us. And me and my brother used to wear the same clothes. We're twins. I used to honestly like it, but then hate it as soon as we went to public school. And I'm like, wait, we don't have to wear the uniforms. We don't have to dress like each other. We actually get a choice. That's when I found maybe a breach in our relationship. And not a breach, just having different thoughts and opinions on how to show up as humans. And so I go to second grade, and the first couple months, I remember finding myself, this is a jumping around story, but I made fun of my brother. I found some friends, and because he wasn't the cool one in school, wasn't into certain things that other people were, he was quiet, reserved, and I'm more this has always been my personality, extroverted. There was a day that I made fun of him, and I apologized then. I apologized recently, and it's not on me to apologize, but it's really like just a sidebar thought here is why in times of our lives do we go against who we are to fit the crowd? Do we go against who we know ourselves to be and what we value? I know as a second grader, you're not thinking about you're not thinking about this consciously, but you know, like, oh, that's my twin brother that I've always been twin brothers that I wake up, eat, sleep around in the same room, sharing bunk beds with. That's my kin folk. Why, when the outside pressure comes in, do we feel like we have to fold and shift the mold into what people think about us? For your story, it's the same thing right now. You're not in second grade. You've grown up, but it's the same thing. They're saying, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. And you almost get frustrated because you keep telling them, this is not who I am. How you want me to be is not who I am. And I'm not going to keep saying that. Mom, dad, uncle, cousin, brother. And just to go back on the story, I remember getting over that with my brother and back to normal. But in that grade, I remember there was a specific time, like I spoke on earlier, where I was in the principal's office. I had my teacher, which I think it was prejudice, but who's to say? My teacher was there saying I was this, that, and the third, my principal and my mom. And I remember it's a round table and I'm just sitting there. It's a dark room after school. And you got to think my mom's a nurse. She works 7P to 7A. And she had just came off a work shift and she's getting prepared to go to her next day. But she has to stop everything that she's doing to go into the school and have this meeting. So her emotions were definitely up. And I remember just sitting there kind of numb and hearing the things that were said about me that was not the truth. Out of my big fat mouth, the mouth of my big fat teacher's mouth. And I remember looking over to my mom to my right and just seeing her in tears. And she broke down. And she's, Nigerian parent. They don't break down in front of, you feel me? Hard-willed, but it was almost to the spot of the disappointment and just the emotions weighing on her saying, man, like, I almost felt maybe she would think differently. And I know she does. But I almost felt in that moment, seeing her reaction, I'm like, dang, I am different and different in the wrong ways, different in disappointing ways. And to rebel against that, it's funny. I say rebel against that. I wore the shoes of that. Okay, I'm bad. Oh, so y'all brought my mama in here to cry and then say I'm bad. And then what? You thought that was going to do something, right? Okay. And so I took it to another level. Long story short of saying that, I'm saying being misunderstood from a kid that was curious about the abilities that he had going into second grade and expressing himself and being different and trying to find a lane for himself, but not being able to express that or ask the questions that a young kid needs to ask a dad. And for you, there's so many chances in life that you have answers that were unasked by you, needs that were unmet. And so you try to get it with fitting in with kids in the school. Maybe you act out, but it's not from a place of I'm just a bad kid. But then when they place that label on you as the bad kid, the real you inside of you wants to push past that. I say all of that to say this. You don't have to work to undo who you once were or who they thought you once were or how you felt in the past. You get a chance today in this new year to be you. YOU. And stop trying to please people around you. because you don't feel good about being you. You are not wrong. You are right. One of one. Blessed to be you. So wear the shoes that only you can fill. Bye.